Page 221, exercise 16.5. Now this piece in this exercise is a very famous piece. About every piano player who studies piano plays it at one time or another, or at least some arrangement of it. What you're seeing here is not an arrangement. This is the way Beethoven wrote it, although the editorial marks, the dynamics and so forth, yeah. But I'd like to talk about this just a little bit. We have a number of things going on in this piece, and in this book they don't give you the whole piece. I would encourage you to go get the music for the whole piece if you're going to learn this, and learn the whole thing. But it's interesting to point out some things going on here. You have like three different voices all going. It's like a trio of three people. The top voice is the melody, is in the right hand. That's the melody. We want to hear that above all the other stuff. That has to come out. Then you have the bass voice, I consider the next most important one. And that's the bottom. As you can see it in the bottom step, the stems are going down. That's the bass voice here. Etc. Then you have the metal voice with all the fun stuff and the harmony and some rhythm stuff going on, and it's got to be quiet. And this is hard to do because when you play a piano, the part that has the most activity tends to be the loudest, so you have to work on it. You're playing it, you might play it in either hand as you go through the piece. Right here at the beginning you're going to be playing it in the right hand, and it tells you that in the music. Because if you look right at the beginning there, in the lower step before the notes, there's a little line and then a line going up. That's their indication to tell you that part is played in the upper hand. So the right hand, here. So we want to hear the melody, we want to hear the bass. Then the middle fills it in quietly. Now I play right there in measure 6. I play the second beat in the left hand, the 16th notes. Four voices going on. They got two middle parts, but they got to be the quietest. So don't get carried away here. You're still basically soft. Now notice I'm doing all this without pedal, and that's for a reason. When you're first learning the piece, make the fingers do the work. So you play it without pedal. Learn it without pedal so you can get this. It's legato. Try and finger it in such a way that it is legato. You'll see in the fingering a number of finger substitutions. I do even more finger substitutions than what they're suggesting here. But that's kind of the nature of the piece. Then after you're done with that, you can go back and add pedal. And basically it's a legato pedal, except for when you have passages like measure 8. The last bit of those with those triplets going on, you don't pedal those because we need the staccato there. It's a good contrast. It's a bridge between what happened before down here and what's coming up. So this is a nice thing. It's just a light, gentle staccato. No pedal there. If you look at page 222, it gets into another theme, a musical melody, starting on measure, pick up to measure 17. This is a little more determined. It kind of drives forward. You want to move along here. And the left hand, the pulsing there, will help you do that. right there. That triggers at more people. On measure 21, it's not bad because the last beats there, you put the turn in between. So here the turn is around the F. So the notes are G, F, and they give you a natural sign underneath to indicate an E natural there for the turn there. And the fingering, I like that fingering, the 4, 3, 2, 1. I use this a lot in turns. So you're here, here, and then the 32nd notes on the end come on with the last 16th note in the left hand. And here you pretty much have to add a little bit of time to the measure. Measure 22. You can't get all those notes in a strict time on the beats on here. It doesn't work. You have to add a little bit. You add what you need to add in order to get all the stuff in. And on that turn at the beginning, this bit, I finger this a 1, 2, 4, 3. And then a 2 here, and then a 5. That's the way I finger it. You can finger it their way or some other way if you got a better way of doing it. But it's just very quickly. The 32nd notes I do in time. They're equal to a 16th note. But those little notes at the beginning, I start them on the beat. And the problem is if you start them on the beat, then you can't do the 16th notes. I mean the 16th note rest. It's indicating that you got to get all this in a 16th note. And it doesn't. The 16th notes are going by too quick. So you have to kind of add another 16th note to the measure. It just throws it off a little bit. And then you're back in time, so it's here. And listen to the professionals play it. And different people will interpret measures 21 and 22 slightly differently as far as timing goes, but it's kind of interesting. So you'll have to decide how you're going to do it. I don't know how you're going to do it. But on measure 23, I want to look at this. We have 2 sets of voices going on in the right hand. You have this at the beginning, or at the end of measure 23. And then on measure 24, the melody is at the bottom note. 2 note slurs. On measure 25, the melody is the bottom note in that chord. So bring it out. Then going on, the 2 note slurs are on the top. And then on measure 27, the 2 note slurs are on the bottom. The point is, it's the 2 note slurs we want to hear. So how do you do this? And I've heard some teachers play this. Well, they don't bring anything out. They just play the notes. But what I'm recommending you do, now you notice the stems going up and down. Well, this isn't to indicate which hand is playing it, because the left hand has a half note on measure 24. It's busy. It's down there. So the right hand's doing everything. But it's just telling you there's voices involved here. So you're going to play the F and A flat quietly. Try and bring out the 16th note. Bring out the 16th note. You're playing it all in one hand, but try and... And then measure 27, bring out the 16th note. And then you're back. And in case you haven't guessed yet, you're not going to pedal any of this, because if you do, you don't get the slurs. The 2 note slurs, it covers it up. If you're going to pedal it here, you have to pedal it with the slurs. So it's an up, down, up, down, up, down with the slurs. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Because we need to hear that 2 note thing. Another problem that some pianists will have when they play this is they'll get the rhythm off. These have to be even. Those have to be even, and people will start to do it. And that's, please don't do that. But as I said before, I would encourage you to get the whole thing, the whole piece, because there's more to it than this. And it's all wonderful. It's all beautiful. The only other little thing I might add here is when you get to passages like in the next to the last measure at the bottom of 122 or 222, page 222. I'll get there. Give me a moment. Okay. The 16th notes are staccato with its line means they're disconnected. They're long staccatos. Don't pedal that. If it's a And when I do this, I play, you've been playing the 16th notes in the right hand. Just go back to let's go back to the last three measures. I'm doing the 16th notes in the right hand. And those I tend to do in the left hand, the second beat. And that's this piece. So have fun if you want to. There's lots of recordings of this if you want to. I don't recommend you copy, but you listen to different professionals play it and how they interpret it. And you say, oh, I like that. I'll do that. But I like what this person did over here. I'm going to try that. And then you might have your own idea on some things too. And you make it your interpretation. All the while, you're still following what the music is telling you to do. Because as long as you follow what the music tells you to do, you can do anything you want, pretty much. Almost.